posted something on our Myriad
No.
Fit page. See, that's the thing. Is like you're so 3, 2, 1. My chair is low. Let's. I can't do this. All right, we're back up. All right, we're back here. We're good. We're ready to rock and roll.
I know what you were just about to say.
Well, remind me, and I'll tell you about it later. So. Yeah, we're in the middle of story time, in the middle of the starting of the episode. Today we are here with 4-Time with Myriad. You have Coach Jared.
And Coach Marta.
Yes, and we had a cliffhanger right before this started.
I know.
So now maybe everyone
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, maybe everyone watching wants to know, like, what were you guys talking about? Which I'll tell you once we stop this video. And then if anyone wants to know, you can ask me, and I'll tell you later. Today we're going to be talking about scaling, and more specifically scaling for HYROX and running, as well as scaling for wintertime.
Yeah.
And the topics come up in a couple different classes, a couple different conversations we've had with coaches, with members. And so we're like, oh my gosh, that would be a great opportunity to talk to our members on a 4-Time to kind of what we know, what we've learned over the last, 10, 15 years about how to make wintertime successful for your own individual goals. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today.
Yay.
HYROX. Just quick overview, HYROX. There is 8,000 meters of running. So you have to run a lot.
Yes, you do.
With that being said, and this is something that I want to kind of put out there right away, is you can still do HYROX. Mm-hmm. You can still train for a race of HYROX without running. Now, if you do an official HYROX, you're going to have to run.
Yes.
But if you're with us, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yes.
You can do what you want.
So an example is we had a member this past 6-week series who was like, I'm really interested in the movements. I'm really interested in the community of HYROX, but I just can't run. My knees, my legs, I just don't want to run.
It's just physically it didn't feel well.
Yeah, just running's not for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, perfect. So what can we do if someone can't run and they want to do HYROX?
So we can sub out running for a different type of cardio. Of course, in HYROX, you're already doing a couple of cardio machines,
which makes it a little bit more challenging versus a CrossFit class. But
exactly, yeah, because you're already doing the rowing machine, which is a common substitute for running, and you're also already doing the ski erg as well. But we have 3 types of cardio machines at the gym. So you can use the assault bike as
AKA
the Echo bike. Oh my gosh, assault bike, that's 2 years old,
That's
Marta.
Circa 2010.
Well,
right
today
there.
I thought it was Wednesday.
Okay, that's
told
fair.
my class to have a great Wednesday today.
There you go.
But you can use the Echo bike.
It's Tuesday, by the way.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you can sub out any running that you would do on the bike instead.
Yep.
But of course, you might not know. The problem is, how far do you bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you run. Do you know off the top of your head?
I do, because I've been doing it a lot lately. So with the Rogue Echo bikes, a specific, what we usually call out is a 2-to-1. So if you're running 1,000 meters, then you should bike 2,000 meters on the Rogue Echo bike. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Do you know, is that for male and female?
Great question. You know how I'm going to look?
I do know. So this is another thing we wanted to talk about today is these are available. These are machine conversion charts. So these are all available. They're laminated, so you can't mess them up. You can grab them in class. You can ask a coach to pull them out. They live next to the TV, the Chalkit Pro Level Method TV.
Yep.
Right on the left right there where you see some certificates, there's a plastic see-through file holder.
Yep.
But these laminated sheets live in there. So any type of conversion you need, whether it's a run, a C2 bike, which we don't have, rowers or skiers or assault bikes or echo bikes can all be converted based on running distance, a 200, 400, 800, 1600, 5,000, 10,000, or a time domain. So sometimes we'll do time domain runnings that we're trying to get people into.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes, talk about it.
Well, so this one technically, you asked what the conversion is, if it's the same for men and women. They actually do a 1 to 1.5 for women. So if you were running 200 meters, it's 300 meters.
That's assault bike. This is that.
Oh my gosh,
You're good.
thank you. 300 meters or 400 meters for men.
It's the same, assault or echo.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they're the same either way. So, that's how you could.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what else I was saying there.
No, this is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. I personally feel like the conversion's a little off, but this is also
I like
where
a 2-to-1.
Yeah, the 2-to-1 for me. It depends on how strong you are on a bike. I'm pretty strong on a bike versus my run, so I can actually bike faster than what I would be able to. So for example, my running of 1,000 meters is probably 4.5 minutes, like at a pretty solid pace. Whereas like my bike at 2000 is like 3:15, 3:20. So it's almost a minute faster for me to bike the equivalent. So this is where it's a little bit challenging. We're actually trying to figure this out because we're going to be doing a bike rocks in the future as well.
Oh my gosh.
I know, sorry, that's not for this episode. But we're trying to figure out what that conversion looks like and try to be a little bit more specific to what it'd be for a 1,000-meter run is kind of what we're trying to aim at on that. But the overall for this piece right now, talking about HYROX in general, is it's available for everyone.
Yes.
Whether you can run or like can't run, like you can come to class and we'll make substitutions. As mentioned, there's always some rowing, there's always some skiing, and there's usually some running. So the bike is the simplest way for us to sub out that running is doing biking. But there's sometimes where we in the workout don't have skiing in that workout, so then skiing can be the substitute. Or rowing can be the substitute. So we can use those pieces of equipment, or jump roping. Another option that I've shared with people is we have a true form runner here. So you can hop on a true form runner. If running outside hurts because of the pounding in the concrete, learning how to use a true form runner actually helps you to run true to form, hence the name true form. I know it sounds pretty simple there, but that's the idea, is your body weight's leaning forward and it's softer on the pounding and it's catching you and receiving you as you go. So you have to learn how to use a true form correctly. But like that helps your running cadence, your running, what's the word I'm looking for, stride?
Yeah, your stride.
Your stride a lot more. I feel like there's another word I'm looking for. But anyways, that's going to be super helpful for you too. So that's another option as you kind of work yourself through.
I was glad you explained that a little bit because people ask me about the true form a lot. They're like, oh, I see you have a treadmill over there. And I'm like, don't get on that expecting it to be like a normal treadmill.
Yeah, it's actually harder.
It is harder.
And your scores on there, like say you go out and run a mile run at a track, like your mile in a true form is going to be way worse. It's usually like 20% slower, 15 to 20% slower than like what your outdoor times are. So
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, but it also trains you to be better than when you go outside. So that's another good tool to use for scaling in the wintertime.
Yes, scaling
So
in the
that's where we're
wintertime.
heading now. So we talked about scaling for HYROX. HYROX can be available for anyone, even if you don't like running. And then scaling for wintertime, because we're starting to get into cold weather, I'll kind of just put it out there, we will be running during the winter.
Definitely. We do the huge,
Hidalgo workout on New Year's.
Which you need to be able to run for.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. But you don't need to. You can also row. You can also bike. But we do run in the wintertime. However, there's individuals who are like, yes, I want to continue my running through the wintertime. But there's other individuals who are runners who are like, I'm not running during the wintertime. It is too cold out. And that's where the options are always available to do the row, the ski, the bike. And you can sub in kind of what you're feeling throughout the wintertime. The one thing I always recommend to people is change those up.
Yes.
So don't always just do the row as your scale for a run during the wintertime. Sometimes do the bike. Sometimes do the ski erg. And then maybe the next time do the row. Maybe play all three of those in your repertoire, and then you come back to those over time as you do. And then sometimes jump out for that cold weather run because it's just constantly varied and will throw you for a loop. And it's, in my opinion, a lot of fun to like, all right, I'm going to do this today. Let's go for it. So that's
I
also
like running in the cold weather.
That's also a thing too. But we're sharing this because we've gotten feedback before that when people see running in a workout, they don't show up.
They don't show up.
You know, when people see running in a HYROX workout, they don't show up. Again, we make this accessible every single class for anyone and everyone, no matter what injury you have, no matter what's going on in life. So always show up to class.
Yeah.
And then we'll find whatever scale, substitute, alternative, modification, whatever term you want to use, we will find that for you and make the class successful for you.
Yeah, so you may not see that listed like on
Correct.
Chalk It Pro, right? Like we have all the levels in there and we don't want to overwhelm you with
Correct.
information on there, but it's always an option. And you now know about the conversion charts, which
are
you
important.
can always like get here and grab and check out before class. But the coaches know where these are too, and they can help you figure out those conversions. So get your cardio in one way or another. It doesn't have to be running. We're never going to force you to run if you don't. We won't even ask why. Like, if you don't want to run, you don't have to tell us why.
I mean, I might ask you, but we'll see.
But you don't have to tell them why.
You don't have to tell me.
You can say, none of your business.
The last piece of the whole entire puzzle is we do our best to maintain a solid temperature inside our space during the winter time. If we do have running in a workout, we do our best to maybe open a garage door halfway or maybe even use the side door here versus opening up the garage door all the way. Once we get the heat to a good spot, we try not to let all of that heat out. But if there's a day of entire running, I would say dress a little bit warmer that day because the space will probably be a little bit chillier because the hot air is being let outside to an extent. So that is something I will warn people on. Sometimes we do get the question of like, in the summertime, well, is your space air conditioned?
Yeah.
No,
Nope.
but there's a giant fan and a bunch of other smaller fans that help. And in the wintertime, is your space heated? Yes. And sometimes, and sometimes it's too hot because the heaters just run on accident, or sometimes it does get chilly.
Yeah, especially in the mornings is a good thing to remember. This space is really big and it's really old, so heating this space well is really hard. So, I mean, even just a layer on that, if there's not running, I'd still come dressed warmly before your classes so you can get your muscles moving a little faster and not feel so cranky right before a workout in your joints and your bones.
Yep. What do they always say in the wintertime? More layers the better, because you can...
Did they say that?
I don't know. Isn't it like you can always take off layers?
You can always take off layers.
Right?
I just thought you were like giving a common expression.
I mean, yeah. You know what I always say during wintertime is you can take off layers.
The more layers, the better, as they say.
I'm so bad with euphemisms. Or I don't even know what those are called. So, all right. You got anything else to add?
No.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Time.